I started this YouTube journey at 47. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. But after 2 years of engineering this process, I can help skip some of that frustration. Today's video is a quick start guide I wish I had answered in 5 simple questions. Hi, this is Mike. I'm 49. I used to be unhealthy and unmotivated. Then I spent over 20 years improving my life, and in my 40s became a martial artist, personal trainer, and entrepreneur. This is for the lifelong learner who's too old for egos and too young to quit. What equipment do you need to start? Let's not go crazy. Use your smartphone. I will give you one technical tip, and that is to change your resolution to 1080p on your phone and set your frames to either 24 frames per second for a cinematic view or 30 frames per second for a more broadcast news, sports type of a view. The file sizes are going to get really big if you're filming in 4K. In the beginning, we just want to make videos. Keep it simple. Smartphone, 1080p, 24 or 30 frames per second. Just pick one. Next, you're going to need a tripod with a phone clip. Now, I bought a cheap tripod, and then 7 months later, it broke. So I went and got a carbon fiber tripod, and I will link this tripod in the description below. Sound. Sound is extremely important. I use the original DJI mic, but I advise to get the DJI mic 2 or 3. So you can use it on your phone, and then when you eventually get a camera one day, it'll obviously connect to your camera. And the thing I love about DJI mics is that there's also a button on there that allows you to record on the actual device itself so that you have a backup. Super annoying when you just spent 10-20 minutes making a video and then you realize the entire video was shot because the cable was a little loose. Well, at some point, you may want to upgrade to a mic that's attached to your computer. But what's going to happen is now you have a separate sound file and you're going to have to sync them up. Again, we're talking about beginner YouTube here. In the beginning, we don't want to be editing or doing all kinds of crazy stuff that we don't need to. That will come in time. It's just not this time. We need a phone, we got a tripod, and now we've got a mic. This is the minimum amount of equipment to get started. What do you edit your videos with? My advice is to keep your workflow lean and the training low. It's very easy to get overwhelmed, especially when it comes to the video editor. This was probably the scariest thing that I had to do at first, and I'm an IT guy. I started with DaVinci Resolve, but I wish I started with CapCut and went to DaVinci Resolve later. And the reason why is that CapCut is just a hell of a lot easier to use than DaVinci Resolve. They make Marvel movies with DaVinci Resolve. I'm not making a Marvel movie. I'm just making a YouTube video. Question number 3. What do you use to make thumbnails? You're gonna have to learn how to use Canva. This is gonna be your best friend. The day that I got Canva, I didn't realize that it was gonna be the software that I would be using every day since I got Canva. Now, I'm not really a graphic design person. I work in IT, but none of this is within my wheelhouse. So all of this was brand new. I didn't know anything. So I'm not a guy that really understands design or anything like that. So one of the first things you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna create a brand kit. I didn't know what this was in the beginning, so I used the internet to help me figure out what the hell a brand kit is. So your brand kit is like a set of colors. You have a specific color scheme that you're always going to use so people can recognize your brand. And you also want to nail down your fonts, because if you have the same font and you're using it in your thumbnails, you're using it in the video, you're using it in social media, if you're selling a digital product, you're going to use your brand kit there. And Canva will actually be the place where you store your brand kit, because you can put all the colors and the fonts and your logos and things like that. The next question is, how in the world do I know which colors to pick? That's actually the easiest. Now we have AI. So just go into AI and say, hey, this is the type of channel I want to build. Can you give me, say, 5 variations of a brand kit? Tell me which one you like the best. So you want to make sure you at least have a primary color, a secondary color, a background color, and maybe an accent color. All of this is going to be explained to you by the AI. Question number 4. What do you do for music and stock footage? Well, first, you need to ask yourself, will I need music and stock footage? that really depends on the type of channel that you're going to do. I specifically like music and want to have it in the background. Some people don't. I like it because it sets the mood of the video. If you're doing purely educational, it may not even be necessary. When it comes to stock footage, unless you want to film all the stock footage yourself, you're probably going to need to get some sort of stock footage site where you can grab stock footage. And stock footage is basically used for your B-roll. I'm talking to you right now. This is your A-roll, and your B-roll is going to be the videos that kind of overlay on top of it. That's not you speaking. If we're on the cheap and we want to start free, Pixabay is great for stock footage. There's probably a bunch of places you can go to. Same thing with music, royalty-free music. That's great. But to be quite honest, pay for a service. It's a lot easier. If you're going to invest your time into this, you need to invest some of your money. Now, originally, I wanted the best, so I picked Artlist. I don't know if it's considered the best, but it is very high quality, and I loved it. However, cost is a bit high, so I said this year, let me try Envato, but you do need to put in a little bit more work with Envato to get the results you want. Not saying it's bad, I'm just saying you have to put in a little bit more work. Like finding that music, finding the right sound, finding the right stock footage. There's so much, I feel like there's so much more in there. I don't even know the numbers, but I just feel like there's so much more. So finding the things you want is gonna be a little bit harder. Whereas Artlist, I could find what I need pretty quickly when it came to music and stock footage. Very high quality. Envato is just kind of like, there's all this stuff. It's like, all right. So it takes me just a little bit longer. For like a time saver and for best quality, go with Artlist if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, go with Envato. If you're totally on the cheap, then just go for free. Just be careful when you go for free, because I see a lot of goofy copyright violations, and companies like Artlist and Envato will just take care of it for you. I want to take a quick pause here and talk about my new shop. Creating content is a grind, and you need to earn your effort every day. Check out the Do Your Best Everyday shop for gear for the journey, from athletic shirts to water bottles and mugs designed for the 40+ mindset. There's free shipping on all orders, and I'll put a link in the description. Final question. How do you come up with what to say? I use Reddit. I go on there to see what people are talking about. That helps me understand what people are asking for. I also use YouTube search. I mean, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, and you are also watching this on YouTube and you're creating YouTube videos. So of course, you'll be searching on YouTube to find your next topic. And of course, these days, you've got AI. AI is gonna be your friend here. Please use it. Having a system, like having a hook in the beginning, some sort of intro, have chapters and an outro, is really the only way to stay consistent. You need to have a system, and that's kind of the basic system that I have. I tried just pushing record and seeing if it worked, and it didn't work for me. Some people, there are channels, especially channels that are over 40, that they just hit the button and they just go for a half hour. I wish I could be like that, but I can't. For a person like me, you want to have as much of your systems locked down as possible. Climax and conclusion. Don't get overwhelmed. Just do things one step at a time. Improve one thing after every video. I also want you to watch YouTube now as a creator, not a consumer. Now when I watch a channel, I'm not just watching the channel. I'm paying attention to the hook that's bringing me in. I'm paying attention to why I clicked that specific thumbnail. What was it about that thumbnail that resonated with me? It's crazy, but when you start seeing these patterns, they start to help you when you create your video. So something happened during the filming of this video, and it couldn't have happened at a better time, because I'm going to leave this as my final tip. My light just went out. I use a portable softbox, and most of the time the battery on that softbox is pretty good because my videos are very short. This one went a little long and it just went out. I concocted together all of these portable lights that I have and put them where the softbox was. It's a weird little mess, and now I can finish the video. So the final tip is, something's going to go wrong, and YouTube really is just about problem solving. Once you figure out what all of these problems are, you just have to solve them one at a time. If you're just starting, your first problem is going to be getting the video out and getting a good thumbnail. You just have to be prepared for things to go wrong. And every time one of these mistakes happens, you end up learning a little bit more. In the future, I'm going to tell you this, I'm probably going to plug that softbox in every single time, even if I think the video is only going to be short. So now I no longer have to worry about that problem. Another thing to mention, it's okay if it's not perfect. But when you get trapped in that perfectionist mindset, what happens is you either don't start or it takes you forever. So if you're starting YouTube later in life, yeah, it's probably going to be a little bit harder for you, but certainly not insurmountable. If you put some thought into what you're doing and kind of plan it out and kind of work on things one at a time, try not to get overwhelmed, it's going to be a lot better for you. Before you go, please check out one of these other videos right here. Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, I like that. This is Mike. Thanks for watching.